Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well today. So in this video, I want to talk to you all about this idea of regret and will I and the majority of people watching this video or this channel regret investing our money, investing our time, energy into this hobby, into collecting, into building a collection, a Pokemon card collection, into learning about Pokemon cards, learning about how collectible markets work. Will we regret this? Do people out there regret it now and have some regret now, and will people experience more regret in the future? And of course, I cannot answer that question for even myself, because I cannot predict the future and how I will completely feel in the future, and I certainly cannot predict that for anyone out there. But I do think it's an important topic to think about in general in life, and I think specifically in something like Pokemon, where obviously this year there was a lot of when there's a lot of like fear of missing out on something and a lot of you know, big promises and people trying to make a lot of money or a lot of potential sort of businesses starting and clout chasing and building a big media brand and becoming famous and all the stuff that got associated with this hobby this year that has never really been in the hobby before, certainly to this extent. I mean, it was always there in terms of there's always been businesses and there's always been people who've built very successful businesses, but nothing like this year, particularly the speed of it this year. And when that happens, I think we're a lot more, as human beings, we're a lot more inclined to make sort of impulsive, extreme decisions. Now, I think the opposite can be true in markets when we talk about, and this channel we always talk about sort of the irrational pessimism and the greed and the being addicted to sort of the high of the chase, of the making money, of the buying, and the danger in that. And we've also talked about how fear can really cause you to miss out on opportunities or not do things altogether because you're too sort of crippled by what can go wrong. And of course that can be investing in an item and hoping to make money on it someday, but really speaking a lot more broadly than that, it can be just investing your time. It could be starting a YouTube channel, taking a plunge into opening, to becoming an online opener or a booster box breaker, or going onto Whatnot, or starting an entertainment type Pokemon channel where you open up cards, or there you have to be careful of sort of, I think, both sides of this equation. If you get too high, you run the risk of over leveraging yourself, of putting too much money into something that you don't really enjoy, into something that really may net you little to no financial gain, and in fact could lose you a considerable amount of money, because there is no guarantee that anything in Pokemon is going to go up in the future and that people are going to remain interested in this stuff. No matter what people tell you out there, no matter how sure or bullish anyone is, there's no guarantee in any of that. Now, I'm hopeful that people will enjoy this stuff, that my business will do well, that other people's businesses will do well, other people's channels, that people who are collecting and who are passionate or engaged and who want to be here and take risks on starting things in this space and building collections in this space will either their collection will retain value for their families, for their kids one day, on the one hand. Two, they will continue to have fun and really enjoy it and not get burned out and start to feel sort of like a buyer's remorse of, I have all these things and I don't want these things, and I feel cluttered and bogged down by them, and start to feel the anxiety or depression that can come with um, what can turn into sort of like feeling like hoarding, where I'm too attached to physical objects, and I'm attached in a sort of an unhealthy, addicted way. We've talked about on this channel. I think that there's a path for people here, for myself, and for people here to have a really great time in this hobby, both in terms of as a side hustle or even main job on sort of the more extreme money making end, to just people who don't care at all about the value of their collections really, and are really focused on just buying cards and things that they find really attractive and enjoy, and are only interested in the financial stuff so that they can make their money go the farthest to complete the biggest collection, so that those people do, there's a path for those people to not regret or collect sort of things that end up not mattering to them and just sort of taking up space. But you really, everything is a risk and a gamble in life. And I think being thoughtful, being authentic, being honest with yourself, is your best chance in anything. Really reflecting on, like, does this bring happiness into my life? Does this bring enjoyment? Is this moving my life, this hobby, forward in any way? I think that those are really good questions for people to reflect on, and then if you realize that it's not, or that it's really not worth it, in one way or another, you don't necessarily have to sell everything and panic and quit everything. That can be sort of that fear overreaction, but you can sell some things. You can thin out what you have. You can stop buying for a while. You could take a break. There's so many options and opportunities out there. And I've made some videos recently trying to, I think, show and demonstrate how quickly people's perceptions and feelings associated with the hobby have shifted, and trying to sort of, give my opinion. And I think my opinion is there's good. I try to make it very based on sort of objective market type principles, how other collectible markets have worked, basing it on sort of historical examples, these sorts of things. But at the end of the day, there's also just a lot of hopefulness behind it. And although hopefulness is great, and I do hope that the Pokemon card market does well, and that more and more people, and that we look back in 10, 15, 20 years, and we look back on this time and we say this was, the hobby was relatively small then, as compared to it is now. I hope that happens. There's no guarantee that will happen. It could stay around the same size, or it could very well, this could be the biggest time in the Pokemon card hobby ever. The most amount of collectors, the most amount of interest right now. And I think that you want to prepare for all of those possible scenarios. So if this is the biggest time ever in Pokemon right now, I will still always be, I have no plans to stop collecting, enjoying, and engaging in the hobby, right? So I personally do not need Pokemon to continue to grow or to continue to get bigger, right? But if it doesn't continue to get bigger, I have to be more careful about my spending habits and how much money, I'm putting into these things, because if my collection or the cards or the things that I'm buying don't retain value, or I see that they're very likely going to reduce in value over the years, I'm probably going to switch my buying habits and my tactics, and be much, much more patient, much more careful about just buying the items that I really want, and with the knowledge or the belief that, the market is still really, really hot right now. We're still within a very bullish window, generally speaking, and 5, 10, 15 years, there's going to be way less people interested in Pokemon, and so I'm going to be able to complete all of those collecting goals for much less money. And I can take the money that I'm using to complete those collection goals right now, and I could put it in something like the stock market, for example, where it's actually going to appreciate and very likely to appreciate and grow. And in 7 years I might double my money in the stock market, for example, statistically, if the stock market continues to go up the way it has, right, historically, versus in Pokemon where I might have my money. And so if I can be patient, just put my money in stocks, wait 7 years, I can come back and complete all of my goals all at once, or it might be much easier. Now, the reality is nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody knows. We're all working with the same information and the same guessing. And so to bring it back and I guess bring it back to that regret thing is just understand the risk, understand the ups and downs of all of this, and practice good self-control. Be thoughtful, trust yourself, do what you believe in, do what you think is right, but also understand the pitfalls and the negativity, and watch that addiction piece. Watch that or being too optimistic or overly hopeful or overly blind or overly fearful, overly negative, overly critical. Try to find that sort of balance within yourself, and just like myself and everyone else, do the best you can to make decisions that make you happy in this space or any other. At the end of the day, I don't care about what any other person thinks. I enjoy Pokemon cards because of my own relationship with them in my life. I enjoy collecting. Beyond Pokemon cards, beyond anything else, I enjoy the process of learning about physical historic objects that I think are interesting and have some sort of human importance, either to me personally or to the world more broadly. And I enjoy collecting those items and completing certain things and then moving on and learning something and doing something else. I will be doing that very likely my entire life to one extent or another. And I also love doing it with other people and community and these types of things. And so because I have all of that enjoyment, I am not and because I have my stock portfolio and because I'm careful about continuing to build that and investing in that, and because I'm not over leveraging myself on Pokemon cards, and because I understand the risks and I'm comfortable with the risks and the downside, I think that I will not be, too regretful if this is the highest point in the Pokemon hobby and it just goes down. You know, as I said before, I certainly hope that isn't the case. I think it's probably best for everyone here if we have a nice calm period where people can really make some progress on their collections, and then we start to see it go back up and future generations become interested, and it's not just our generation that cares enough about it to be paying these prices, which you have to understand is very possible. It is possible. Okay, so I hope everyone is doing well out there. I hope everyone is still really enjoying the hobby and has a good perspective for themselves. Whatever your goals are, if your goal is to make money, or to just to make money, even, or if your goal is to make money but in a way that is engaging and fun for you in the hobby, whether it's having your break channel or doing your education content or doing your entertainment content or whatever it is, I hope that you can continue to find success here, and we should wish that for everyone who wants that and cares about this space. I hope the collectors can collect and find things at affordable levels, at reasonable levels to them, and that they won't feel that regret or that negativity or feeling ripped off. And I think that there's plenty of opportunity and will be opportunity moving forward. But you have to, again, have self-control and be flexible and adaptable to the market, and just try not to get too caught up in any one person's opinion or perspective, or really try to develop your own taste, your own sense of what you value, of and what will make you happy in the space. Okay, so thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate the continued support. Patreon members, thank you so much. People who subscribe, like the channel, even just take their time to watch the videos and continue to engage here. It brings me a lot of a joy and meaning, and allows me to continue to work to build my collection and build my goals in the hobby. So I will always be very appreciative of everyone who decides to do that. So thank you all so much, and we will have more videos for you soon. All right, take care.